Okay, good morning, fourth graders. We are going to be working on some review lessons today. The first one that we're doing is back from lesson 510, and it's solving multi-step fraction number stories. And this page was page 256, and we're going to be on page 257, but you're still going to need this chart. So I'm going to refer to that chart. I have it in my teacher edition here, but we're on the second page of this. So we're looking at number 3. It says, Taru, I'm going to make it bigger. I know it's hard to see. Taru burned 1,000 calories downhill skiing before lunch. If she plans to ski for a total of 5 hours today, how many hours will she ski after lunch? So again, you're going to want scratch paper. I think we don't have necessarily, you might have your math notebook. That's another great place to be doing this work. But there's never really enough space on here. So the first thing we got to do is look back at that graph on 256, or that chart, and find out how many calories, or how many hours it takes to burn 100 calories. And if I'm looking right, it's really small in my book. It takes 1/6 of an hour to burn 100 calories. Okay? So what we need to do first is if it takes 1/6 of an hour to burn 100 calories, we need to figure out how long it took Taru, I'm not sure how to say it, 1,000 calories. How long did it take to burn that? So what we need to do is we need to kind of set up a ratio. If 1/6 equals 100, we need to figure out what fraction out of 6, because the denominator is going to be the same, does it take to get to 1,000? So what we're really thinking here is 100 times something is going to equal this. And whatever we do to this, we're also going to do over here. Okay? So try and figure that out right now. How many hundreds does it take to make 1,000? You can pause me and try that. Okay? What I know is 10 100s make 1,000. So whatever I do on this side, I have to do on this side. So we're taking this also times 10. If we take it times 10, what do I have to put? What's my denominator? 1. So to figure out what this is, look, 6 times 1 is 6. So we got the right denominator. Now you have to do 1 times 10. What's 1 times 10? 10. So what we've just found out by doing this ratio is that 10/6 of an hour will burn 1,000 calories. Well, that doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I'm going to keep that 10/6 because that's what's important here. That's our time. It takes 10/6 of an hour to burn 1,000 calories. That doesn't do me a whole lot of good because I don't know how many hours that is. But what I can do is I can make it a mixed number by going 10 divided by 6. And if you do that, you think, how many 6s go into 10? How many 6s go into 10? 1. 6 times 1 is 6. And subtract. 10 minus 6 is 4. Okay? So how much, this isn't going to tell us the actual answer. There's so many steps to this. What this tells us is that Taru skied for 1 4/6 hours. It's hard to see because of the blue and the way this is calibrated. 1 4/6 hours. So we want to ski for 5 hours. We want to know how much will she have to ski after lunch. That's where we got to take 5 and subtract 1 4/6. Okay, well, what we know when we do this is this second part is going to stay the same. Minus 1 4/6. We have to regroup from the 5. Cross out the 5. Down here it's going to be a 4 because we're taking 1 away. That 1 that we took away we have to make into 6. How many 6 would that be? 6, 6. 4 and 6, 6 is the same as 5. Now do your subtraction. 4 minus 1, 6, 6 minus 4, 6. 4 minus 1 is 3. We're going to have 6. 6 minus 4 is 4. So Teru needs to ski 3 and 4/6 hours. That's a lot of work. So hopefully you were working along with me on that. And we're going to do this one real quick. Which takes longer, burning 300 calories chewing gum or 500 calories playing catch with a football? And how many minutes longer? Okay, so I'm going to look back at my graph, or at my chart, and chewing gum, it would take, I'm going to use a different color because of the blue, 11/12 of an hour. And playing catch with a football takes 7/12 of an hour to burn 100. Each of these is equal to 100. So the trick here, and I'm not going to do the explain, we're just going to do the math today, is that if 11/12 equals 100, how many 12s would equal 300? And over here, if 7/12 equals 100, how many 12s equals 500? So this is really simple. It's a really simple process. If I'm going from here to here, it would be like multiplying by 3. So if we multiply that by 3, we have to multiply this by 3. Basically, 11/12 times 3. Go ahead and figure out what this would be if you did 11/12 times 3. 1 times 12 is 12. 3 times 11 is 33. So it takes 33/12 of an hour to burn 300 calories. Here, it's the same process. What are you multiplying to get there? 100 times what is 500? It's 5. So we need to take and multiply this by 5. 1 times 12 is 12. 5 times 7, 35. So, which one's going to take longer? Well, it's whatever's bigger here. So, we're essentially done with this. I've got to create some more space. It takes 33/12 of an hour chewing bubble gum to burn 300 calories. And it takes 35/12 of an hour to burn 500 calories throwing a football. This one takes longer. We're going to do this in a little quicker step, though. Watch this. The answer is a football takes longer. It takes 2/12 of an hour more. But they want to know how many minutes. Well, I'm going to make this super easy for you. We're going to do this a little different way. We take 35/12 minus 33/12. That's going to tell us how many 12ths longer it is. Okay? So go ahead and do that. Figure out your fraction. The denominator stays the same when we subtract. 35 minus 33 is 2. So it's 2/12 of an hour longer. Alright, here's how you do this now. We take 2/12, because that's how many hours it is. There's 60 minutes in an hour. 2 times 60 is 120 divided by 12. So the last step in this, to figure out how many minutes longer, is to take 120 and divide by 12. And it's actually super easy. Give that a try. Try and divide 120 by 12. Because what you should think, if you pause me and worked on it, is you should be thinking, how many 12s go into 12? 1. 1 times 12 is 12. Add a 0, and subtract. So it takes how many minutes? 10. Alright, a lot of work there. I know that that was a fast review. We got one more thing to do today, which is, this is the page that we were working on before. This is page 258 from yesterday. We're going to do 2 problems on here. So, we've got which weighs more. We're not going to do all of it. We're going to do 5 7/8 pounds greater roadrunners from New Mexico, or 4 1 1/8 pound ruffed grouse from Pennsylvania. So right here, you've got 5 times 7/8, and we've got over here 4 times 1 1/8. Now, this one I think you can do pretty easy, but what we should do probably here is we should probably make that back into a mixed fraction. Okay? So, if we want to make this back into a mixed fraction, or an improper fraction rather, you take, so it's going to be 4 over 1 times 1 time, we're going to have eighths for our denominators, I forgot to say that. 1 times 8 plus 1 gets you your numerator. 1 times 8 is 8, add 1 is 9. So over here it's 4 over 1 times 9/8. So go ahead and solve both of these and get your new fraction. 1 times 8 is 8. 5 times 7 is 35. Over here, 4 times 9, that's 36. How I do that, I forget about the 9 for a second, and I think, what's 1 less than 4? I write my 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. 1 times 8 is 8. So this was our ruffed grouse. Red was ruffed grouse. Blue was greater roadrunners. Which one weighs more, grouse or roadrunners? You should say the grouse, because 36/8 is more than 35/8. So this should be, I'll write it in red because that's what we've been coding it. Ruffed grouse. And they want to know how many ounces more. Well, if we wanted to do that step, we need to take 36/8 minus 35/8. Go ahead and do that quick. It should be fast. Denominator is going to stay in 8. 36 minus 35 is 1/8. It's 1/8 of a pound more. That's not ounces. To change it to ounces, when you change pounds to ounces, you have to multiply by 16. So that would be like doing 1/8 times 16. Go ahead and try that. Okay, if you pause me and tried that, 1 times 16 is 16. And 8 times 1 is 8. 16/8 ounces. But again, the final step here is to take 16 and divide by 8. Go ahead and try that. That's a pretty easy one. How many 8s go into 16? 8 times 2 is 16, and we subtract 2 ounces. All right, we got one more of those, then I'm going to let you go, and you guys can enjoy your Easter weekend. One more problem. If this loads. All right, last one. The weight of an Alaskan, this is one page ahead. We were on page 258, now we're on page 259. The weight of an Alaska's willow ptarmigan is about twice as much as the weight of 3 2 9/10 ounce brown thrashers from Georgia. What is the weight of a willow ptarmigan? I know it looks like ptarmigan, but it's you don't say the P, it's a silent P. Ptarmigan. Alright, so it's 3 2 9/10 brown thrashers. So that means we got to take 3 times 2 9/10. But what I think is probably going to be easier for us in the long run is to change this back into an improper fraction so that we have 3 over 1 times whatever this ends up being. The denominator is always going to stay the same. And our process for doing, or to find our numerator, is to go whole number times denominator plus numerator. 2 times 10 is 20 plus 9 is 29. And then we need to figure out what our new fraction is. Denominator is easy. 1 times 10 is 10. Here you need to do 3 times 20, 3 times 9, add those together. Try that on your own, hit play, and you'll see how you did. Okay, I like to do it in steps. 3 times 20. I know that 3 times 2 is 6, so 3 times 20 is 60. 20, 40, 60. One of those fingers popped up there fast, huh? Then I do 3 times 9. Okay? I don't think about the 9. 1 less than 3 is 2. And 2 plus 7 is 9. So, 0 and 7 is 7. 6 and 2 is 8. 87 tenths. Okay. I'm not even going to worry about this part. We're just looking at how many ounces it is. So first we've got to figure out how many pounds that is. I think it's going to be easier for us to first do that division problem. So the division problem that we need to do is 87 divided by 10. Go ahead and give that a shot. Okay, here's what I know. I know if I take 10 times 8, I'm going to get 80. 7 minus 0 is 7. 8 minus 8 is 0. So my answer here is going to be whole number 8, numerator 7, denominator 10. It's 8 and 7/10 pounds. Okay? And if I wanted to change that into ounces, I would have to take, you could either take that and multiply it by 16, which I think is just, today that's probably enough. But you'd have to take 8 times 16, and then 7/10 times 16 over 1. When you get the answer for this, then this is going to get you a mixed number, or excuse me, an improper fraction. It'd be 70 and 42. So if I'm doing my math right, that's 112 tenths. You'd have to make that into your mixed number, and then you'd have to add them. If you want to give that a try on your own, that's awesome. We know that if it was pounds, it would be 8 and 7/8 pounds, or 8 and 7 pounds. And I think that's probably enough work for today. I want you guys to enjoy your Easter weekend. There won't be any assignments Friday or Monday, but Tuesday I'll be back and I'll have a new lesson for you. All right, guys, take care.